northern kingdom, until the fullness of the Gentiles, or the multitude of nations, be come in. That was the mystery. Y'all got it?
Yes.
Read on.
For this is my covenant unto them when I shall take, verse 26. And so all Israel should be saved as it is written.
That proves to what the mystery is right there. That proves it right there. So all Israel, not just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi of the southern kingdom, Gad, Ephraim, Manasseh, that's the multitude of the Gentiles that Paul had to go to also. That was still over in that land. Read.
There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
Go ahead.
For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes. But as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake.
They are beloved for the Father's sake. So the Lord is going to gather the 12 tribes back again. That's what Paul was talking about. So he wasn't just an apostle for the regular Gentiles. He was an apostle for the Israelites, who were being called Gentiles and were scattered amongst the other nations. Now, should we teach the Gentiles? Yes, we should. Cornelius was a Gentile. Get Acts 15 and 14. Paul was teaching the Gentiles, even though he caught a lot of flack for it, and we catch flack for it now. You have brothers looking at our videos. Was that an Edomite in the background? I don't know. I don't know what his father is. I didn't ask him. But he want to follow Christ, so that's good enough for me. All right? Because we're going to do the gospel for the Jews first, then the Gentiles. That's our job. Let's read it. Acts 15 and 14. Read that. Acts 15 and 14. Read that.
Simeon have declared how God at first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name.
Simeon, that's Simon or Peter, have declared how the Most High did first visit the Gentiles, which was Cornelius, to take out a people for his name. So the Lord visited Cornelius at Joppa first to tell him to listen, go to Peter. Go to Peter because I'm going to do something here. And then he sent Peter a vision where even Peter himself refused the vision 3 times while he was asleep. Lord, I never ate anything common or unclean. But he said, eat, man, eat. Because he was preparing him to deal with a nation he never dealt with before. That was Cornelius. To take out a people for his name, because there was no people out of the Gentiles for the Most High's name. And if you don't follow Christ, you're not going to make it to the other side. Israelites also. If Israelites don't follow Christ, they're not going to make it to the other side. So the Lord had to take out a people among the Gentiles that would follow him so that they can be subjects in the kingdom to come. If they don't follow Christ, then they won't make it to be these subjects. But in order to get into this kingdom, they must follow Christ. So he had to take out amongst the Gentiles a people for his name. Because if they don't follow him, they won't get in. That's common sense. Israelites are not going to be the only people in the kingdom. You can't have a kingdom without subjects, without people that serve it. Read that part again. Acts 15 and 14.
Simeon have declared how God at the first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name.
Go ahead.
And to this agree the words of the prophets as it is written.
Go ahead.
After this I will return and will build again the tabernacle of David which is fallen down, and I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up, that the residue of men might seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called.
And all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called. And you have some brothers look at that and be talking about, well, that's talking about Israelites. No, it's not. Because how do we know that? The prophecy it's talking about is through Amos. Go to Amos 9 and 11. it gives total clarity to why the Most High must take out among the Gentiles a people for his name. So yes, Gentiles can follow the Lord. Read that.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
The Lord says he will do what? Read that part again.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
So through Christ, that tabernacle will be raised again. The tabernacle of David, because Christ will sit on David's throne. Read on.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Go ahead.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom.
They shall possess the remnant of who?
The remnant of Edom.
The remnant of Edom. Read on.
And of all the heathen which are called by my name.
And all the heathen which are Gentiles, which are called by the Lord's name. So the Lord had to put the Spirit on Cornelius and the Gentiles to follow him to fulfill this prophecy, so that there'll be Gentiles serving in the kingdom. That's common sense. So when these Gentiles come to us and say, listen, we want to follow the same as Cornelius and the other Gentiles, we will say, yes, let's go to the water. Yes. No, you don't got to bow down to us. You don't have to listen, the Lord says not to call any man common or unclean. That's what happened when Peter and Cornelius met each other. Cornelius knew that he was a child of the Most High that was chosen. He knew he was a follower of Christ. So when Cornelius seen him, he tried to bow to him. And Peter said, no, man, get up and stand on your feet, man. Stand on your feet. The Lord showed me in that vision not to call any man common or unclean. And see, this is the gospel that we must teach, man, because Israelites are not rogue, evil, and wicked people. We're not going to treat people the wrong way because we've been treated wrong. The Lord says we're not supposed to revile when we're reviled. We're not supposed to render evil for evil. So just because we have a long history of what the Gentiles did to us, we still have to exercise the spirit of forgiveness for those that want to come and follow what this Bible says. Read that part again.
In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
Okay.
And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old.
Go ahead.
That they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen which are called by my name.
So when we get set up, we're going to possess the remnant of Edom and all the nations and the Gentiles that are called by the Most High's name. So there will be a possession for our people. There's nothing wrong with that. Because right now we are possessing for the Gentiles and no one's complaining. When I look at who's signing our checks at work, I don't complain about that. Okay, as long as I get my check. Right? We're like, okay. So, and this is what I don't understand. That lets you know that we're in a slave mentality. Why the only people that we can accept serving is us? We can't even fathom other people serving. So the Bible tells you we have to deal with this in righteousness. Because if we reject the Gentiles, we're rejecting the same people the Lord is calling to serve in the kingdom of heaven. Right? So we don't have to put the same barriers or the same restraints on them that we put on Israelites. The Lord tells us when the Gentiles come through, there's just a few things they have to know. Go to Acts 2 and 17. Acts 21 and 17. There's only a few things the Gentiles have to understand.